the next day, I got back that night. Coach Riley called me and it offered me a scholarship. And as soon as he offered me the scholarship, I took it right away. I was just like, this is a no brainer. Just staying in Kansas, being around this area. I was never really a big K-State fan growing up. I was born, raised a KU fan, and just that whole recruiting process. Them not picking me up, really hurt me, and I was just like, screw it. And then I was, I wanted to go to K-State.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of our 3-Mall Player Weekly Spotlight, brought to you by Riverbank Brewing in Council Grove in partnership with Wildcat NIL, and we are joined today by K-State senior offensive lineman Taylor Poitier. Before we get going with Taylor, I want to remind you, as always, about our partnership with Riverbank Brewing. Tremendous spot located just 35 minutes from Manhattan in Council Grove, just off Main Street in the Neosho River. They have 7 beers currently on tap that they brew in-house, including the Legends Never Die, a velvety chocolate porter with a blend of caramel and chocolate malt with a light hop profile, plus several different cocktails mixed with Lewisburg apple cider and whiskey or vodka, as well as an apple cider margarita currently on the menu. Go check them out. Awesome historic building with a huge outdoor covered patio overlooking the Neosho River, several TVs to watch games both inside and outside, and they have beer to go, so you can pick some up to take to your tailgate at one of the final 2 home games remaining this season. Open Wednesday and Thursday from 4 to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Go to riverbankbrewing.com for more information and go enjoy craft beers and freshly made cocktails in the beautiful Flint Hills while supporting a local business that is supporting Wildcat NIL and K-State student athletes. Taylor, thanks so much for joining us. How you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. Hey, look, I know this Saturday was a tough one. How have you guys responded during the bye week?
I think we responded well. We always think about like it's in the past is in the past. We're always looking forward. That rearview mirror and that windshield. That rearview mirror is smaller than what's in front of you. So always got to look ahead and to continue on working and striving for excellence.
From a scheduling point of view, I imagine the bye seems to come at a pretty good time before the stretch run at the end of the season. But I mean, how hard is it to have a bye coming on the heels of a loss and have to sit on that for a couple weeks?
It's really heartbreaking. There's a lot of things to think about. A lot of things that you want to get corrected from the past game. Having this bye is helping us get better. We're doing a little bit more competition stuff, so we're working harder than we've worked before. So we just keep on going.
Well, yeah, I wanted to expand on that, Taylor, because Coach Kleiman said after the Houston game, the team needed to get back to fundamentals. Without giving away too much detail, what have you guys really focused on in practice this week with no opponent on deck this weekend?
Just making sure that we're doing stuff right as an offensive line standpoint. We're extending blocks. We're especially in drills. We're finishing past the point we usually do. Just harping on that, just making sure our hands and our feet are in the right spot, are moving well. So things like that. And as a team standpoint, just making sure that we're completion every single time, doing the right reads, running the ball well, blocking well, just things like that. So just keep on, preaching the details to everybody else, so that we keep getting better.
We're going to get into your story in just a couple minutes here, Taylor, but focusing on the immediate, look, you're in your 6th year in the program. I look at you as a leader on the offensive line, and I know you were out in 2022 with an injury, unfortunately, but you witnessed a similar situation that year. Lost at home to Texas, kind of at a similar timeline, lost control of the destiny to the Big 12 title, but you guys won out. Texas lost a game. You end up in the Big 12 championship. We know what happened from there. What's been kind of your message to the guys this week following the loss?
Yeah, like we've talked about it on Monday. Like we're in the same situation that we were in 2022. they should just got to keep doing our job. We can't control the things that are happening outside of other teams. They win or lose. We're hoping for the best, but we just got to keep doing our job every single week. Just keep doing those little details to keep us going forward.
You guys were number 3 in the country in yards per carry through the first 6 games of the season, rushed over 200 yards in each of those six games. Yeah, I know it's been maybe a little bit more of a struggle to get the ground game consistently going over the last 3 weeks. You guys were good against KU. Houston, obviously, they were loading the box, not ideal weather conditions. But I'm curious, are teams giving you guys different looks up front, or what would you attribute to getting the running game back on track after we get into the final stretch here, the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, teams are doing really well when it comes to trying to, stop the run. Our biggest thing when we have Dylan and the DJ back there, they know we have a lot of threat when it comes to, the running the ball. And, they're trying everything, to stop us. And I would say Houston did a good job when it came to, they pretty much pressured almost every other snap. And, just try to, maneuver around that. It's kind of hard, but, you got to make those little details and those adjustments, to keep moving the ball. But, teams are doing everything they can, honestly, just to try to stop the run. But, we're never going to quit when it comes to, trying to run the ball or pass the ball, anything like that. We just got to keep, working hard and talking over the things that we may see or, something we may not prepare for. We still have our rules and principles that we have to follow. So, we just got to keep going when it comes to, studying in the film and seeing the things that teams might do and, things that are not expected to do. So
I want to get into your story, Taylor. It's pretty unique. You're from the KC area, played high school ball at Bishop Miege. You're one of the few guys on this roster that was in Chris Kleiman's very first recruiting class. In fact, I think you were one of the first guys he landed when he got the job at Kansas State. What do you remember about the recruiting process, meeting Coach Kleiman, and what sold you on the Wildcats?
Oh, yeah. It was a crazy week. So I was on a visit to Wyoming that week. I still remember to this day. And apparently, I don't know how they found out, but they found out K-State wasn't really talking to me. One person that really talked to me was Coach Riley. He gave me like one phone call. He was like, he didn't know if he was going to come to K-State or not. It was just like, just be on the lookout. I was like, all right. And as I was going to Wyoming, they were saying like, I know that K-State's trying to, talk to me. And like, I was like, I really didn't, get that from Coach Riley when he kind of talked to me, but I was just, keeping an ear open. And Wyoming was like my only Division I offer at the time. And I just didn't know if I really wanted to kind of go there. And I didn't really think I really fit in that, environment out there. And as I got back, it was the early signing day. The next day, I got back that night. Coach Riley called me and he offered me a scholarship. And as soon as he offered me the scholarship, I took it right away. I was just like, this is a no-brainer. Just staying in Kansas, we were around this area. I was never really a big K-State fan growing up. I was born, raised a KU fan, and just that whole recruiting process. Them not picking me up, really hurt me, and I was just like, screw it. And then I was, I wanted to go to K-State, and then just going here, I went on one visit. I committed before I even went on a visit because I just knew that what type of people these guys were, and how much they really care about you. Just from all the phone calls, Coach Kleiman, Taylor, Brad, they're all calling me all the time, text me, making sure I'm good. Show up to my school. Coach Klein would come up too, and it really showed how much they really cared about me, and that's really pretty much why I committed to K-State, because it was just a family-based thing that I knew it would just grow me to a better person. So,
well, it looked like that KU game had a little extra juice for you and meaning on a couple of weeks ago. Taylor, saw you rushing over to conduct the band as well. So, Anyways, yeah. Look, you play the final few games to end the 2020 season, which I'm sure was bizarre as well, with it being the pandemic season. And I just remember watching you maul guys, Taylor, in the Baylor game down in Waco that year, and you guys rushed for, I think, 275 yards. And you're penciled in as a starter heading into the 2021 season. You injure your knee in fall camp, miss the season. I hate to go back to these difficult times, but it's part of your story. What do you recall about that injury, and how hard was it to get back from that?
Yeah, so, injuries are never, they come and go. Like, you never know when they're ever going to come. That was, it was a, heartbreaking moment. Just a freak accident. I got cut in my knee, and it just it was really bad. I almost blew up my knee, and I was just heartbroken just because how well I was doing in that camp, and I just really high expectations for myself, and other people had high expectations for me. And the first thing I said as soon as I got hurt was I said sorry to Coach Riley, because how much I know he wanted me to play, and it was really heartbreaking. And just thinking about it, just days were just sleepless nights, and then try to think back if I didn't get hurt or anything like that. It was just really, really heartbreaking. Just working back in the process that whole year, trying to get back, it was really difficult. That was my first major injury. I've never dealt with an injury before, so that was heartbreaking. And then that next year, the first game going against South Dakota State, South Dakota.
Yep.
The couple plays before halftime, was blocking a guy, and that guy whipped over and hit my other knee, and I just knew at that point, I just knew the feeling of tearing an ACL. I feel like I did, and sure enough, I did, and that was just extremely heartbreaking too. So I just knew at that point, I was just I didn't know if I was going to be able to play football again. Just going back-to-back years, just knee surgeries. My doctor, the person who did my surgery, was kind of saying I don't know if you should keep playing because of how bad your first knee surgery was, and you're coming back and you got this one. It was really heartbreaking. I was just in tears. I didn't know what to do. Just praying to God, talking to my family and friends. Just they're trying to keep me going, keep me in high spirits, and that's what I appreciate. I appreciate my friends and my family, because it's just they've just done so much for me. Just moral support. It's all you can really ask for. My team showed me support, and just being not being able to be a part of the team was really heartbreaking for me, because it's just when you're injured, you're still a part of the team, but you're not really there. So it's just kind of looking from the back, and saying you're a part, but then you're really not. So working those 2 years, trying to get my strength back, trying to get my speed back, trying to get my ability back, just doing everything I can to stay healthy. I've been blessed. I played a little bit last year, been starting this year, no problems, and I'm just praying that it keeps going well. But through all those trials and tribulations, it just taught me to just never give up, and really taught me how strong I am mentally and physically, and I could get through anything in life.
So it was the other knee, Taylor, is that right? So it's both knees, and yeah. I remember the South Dakota game, looking out on the field and realizing it was you on the ground, and was just gutted, and was hoping that it wasn't anything severe, but just terrible luck, man. I don't know how you dealt with that. That's brutal. And I mean, you just talked about it a little bit, but I mean, did you think about just giving up football after that second one? Take me through kind of the emotional roller coaster there of what your mindset was, and the decision to not only come back in 2023, but come back here for this season in 2024 for his sixth year.
I would say quitting was never in my mind, honestly. I've never been a quitter when it comes to things. I always strive, whenever things get hard, you just gotta, we get back in the face. You get punched, you gotta punch harder, back. no matter what, like no matter how many trials and tribulations you go through, everybody goes through that. That's why I always said to myself, like everybody goes through hard times in life, but it's just always the way you get back up. And that's just what I just, try to do. I never wanted to quit. I never wanted to quit on myself because especially like this year and last year, I was just like, I don't want to leave any regrets coming off this field. I want to, make sure I come off here knowing that I did the best I could. I gave it everything I got, no matter what. So that's what I was always thinking about.
Yeah. Now you come back here for the sixth season, and I know often that first year back from injury, like you kind of are easing into things, getting your strength back and everything. As you head into this year, now you're 9 games into the season. Like, do you feel like you're getting close to where you were at before injuries, or do you feel like that'll ever occur?
I would say so, yeah. I still can, move people off the ball, which I'm, very grateful for. Just being confident morally. That confidence kind of just goes away when you got to go through all that stuff and just always worried about if I'm ever going to get hurt on certain plays or anything like that. Just watching out can set you back a little bit. But this year I've been striving just to play free, play with just a flying spirit, just because I know that who I am. Like if it happens, it happens. But I'm praying that it doesn't. But it's just like I'm just gonna play, go out here and play and get everything I got, no matter what happens. So.
For fans that don't know, I mean, the rehab process has to be an absolute grind, and for you to have to go through it back-to-back years, like walk us through what the rehab process is like when you go through an injury like that. I cannot imagine how difficult that is.
Yeah, it's terrible. Our trainers are so forgiving and easy on you. So because they just want you to get back. There's some days that I'm just kind of just in tears because of how much pain I'm in, and it's so hard. I don't wish that on anybody. Honestly, like that's one of the hardest things I've kind of gone through is just coming back from just knee surgery and rehab and all that. Is just you have a certain time frame you want to get back and be able to work on some stuff. So you're just doing everything you can to push yourself beyond the point. Like you're working out more than the other guys. You're not sleeping as much as other guys. Like you're just doing a whole lot more than you usually expect, like an average like football player does. You're doing more and more, honestly. Like, so it was really mentally tough at times, and it's just like at that point you just gotta keep going. Like, there's no reason to quit. Like, you're already here, so you might as well keep finishing. So,
well, on a more positive note, Taylor, what's it like playing for Connor Riley and Coach Kleiman?
I love it. I love it so much. I tell Rouse how much I love him. I tell him that, when I first got here, I remember my freshman year, I would hug him for every game, before every game, and just say how much I love him for letting me come here and to give me this opportunity to play here. And years go by, like I treat him like I feel like he's kind of like my second dad, honestly. He keeps it real, always gonna keep it real with you. He's gonna give you those hard talks, those personal talks too. Like, he's always like a father figure, honestly, for me. And Coach Kleiman, like he cares so much about this team and about how can we do better. Like you guys probably know, like he fired one of his best friends, or old OC, back in 2021.
Yep.
And that was hard for him because they grew up with each other, and he's doing that because he wants to see this team move forward and how much he knows this team can get to. So I just love him so much. I love both of them so much because I know how passionate they are for us and how much they are willing to do for us. So,
have you noticed that Coach Riley obviously added responsibility this year as the offensive coordinator? Like, week to week, is this still about the same amount of time spent with you guys on the offensive line, still being your position coach, or has there been a little bit of a change there with Coach Little being added to the staff, and like how much Coach Riles can work with you guys?
I mean, it's pretty much the same, but he has a lot more responsibilities. He's not, solely just looking at us.
Yep.
During practice, but it's fine. We have a lot of leaders on the offensive line, a lot of older guys, so we know like what the expectation is, and we know like what we'll do wrong. And then if he sees something, he's gonna say something. So that's good. Pretty much everything's kind of the same. Only one day out of the week where he's kind of away doing like 7-on-7 stuff, but he's pretty much always there, just trying to coach us up, trying to show us good technique details and certain things. So he's pretty much always there with us, trying to get us going.
A couple more and we'll get you out of here, Taylor. Just looking ahead to the future, like who are some younger offensive linemen maybe that we haven't seen that you think have a really bright future that are coming along?
For sure. I would say we brought up Navarro.
Oh, yeah. From South Dakota. Shunky. Is it Shunky?
Yeah. Shunky.
Yeah.
He's doing really well. Really, really strong. Gus Hawkins, Michael Capria, John Pastore, Andrew Lanye. They both played in a couple games. Like they're all doing really well. It's just really cool to see, like, I've been there for 6 years. Just seeing people just grow and develop to like, good players, and like, they're just striving for excellence too. Like they want to play too. So, they're just grinding every single day to work for the opportunity, and it's really cool to see. So,
how many other? I haven't checked the roster to double check this, Taylor. Last year, I think you guys had a couple guys that like 7th-year guys, like Daniel Green, and or maybe they were 6-year. I think Daniel was 6-year. I can't remember. But as you look at the roster now, like, how many guys are left from the Kleiman first recruiting class when you arrived in 2019? Like, do you have do you know off the top of your head? Like,
I can name them. So it's me, Austin, Brendan Mott, Kenan Carter.
Bowman, is he one? Is he 6th?
No, so he's a 5th year.
Okay.
So it's only, I think I wouldn't say it's only 5 of us that are still, kind of just in that, came in that 2019 year. You're still here. So it's pretty small, but I love all those guys. All those guys know, like, all those struggles we went through our first years, just like development and all of that stuff. So,
yeah.
And then the guys that came in 2020 year, like they know too, like, we're all pretty close. So it's really cool to, just still be around some of the guys. So, yeah.
What do you want to do when you're done playing football?
When I'm done playing football, I kind of want to do some sort of like medical sales, just like working whatever, like football is just done for me. So I'm from KC. I don't know if I really want to, at one point I want to stay for a little bit, but at one point I kind of want to just, reach out to a different place, see just other things out there. It's more just like, live with just fulfillment in life, honestly. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. Just move somewhere else, work, start a family at one point, and then, yeah.
Would you want to coach? Listening to you talk, Taylor, you sound like someone would be a really good coach.
Yeah, I thought about it, or at least a personal trainer. Coaching hours are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They kind of go through a lot of stuff, and salute to them because they don't see their families so much, and it's kind of heartbreaking. But it's, they gotta do their job. But when they get the opportunity, you get to go see their family. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Who's the biggest trash talker on the offensive line, or the offense in general?
Doesn't
have to be just the O line. Like if it's somebody on the offense overall, like who's chirping the most out there?
Probably either me or Hadley.
Yeah,
either or. We kind of get it. Like everybody else, Sam is pretty quiet. Carver, he doesn't say much. Easton's quiet, and then you got me and Bubba. We just we don't care, honestly. We just kind of say whatever. But yeah, I'll probably say me or Bubba. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know that the receivers talked because they're way out there. DJ doesn't say anything. Dylan doesn't really say anything. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Dylan says a little bit, but I never hear him. But yeah, the people out here is pretty much just me and Bubba.
I asked this question to Avery when he was on several weeks ago. You ever do anything off the field with DJ? Like go fishing with him or anything?
I've been asking him for years. I'm like, when are you gonna take me fishing? He's like, let me know. And yeah, we just never got the opportunity to. But yeah, this bye was kind of almost over, and it's kind of cold now, so it's kind of like I feel like kind of past the point of going fishing.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, he kind of just does his own thing. I would love to go fishing. I went fishing not too long ago. I loved it. So yeah, I would love to go fishing with him.
We might need to set up an NIL function with fishing with DJ and get a lot of people out there with DJ. It'd be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's awesome. Well, Taylor, appreciate you and everything you've done for K-State. Best of luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we see you guys in Arlington at the Big 12 Championship again and you get a chance to win another ring. Outstanding representative of the university. So grateful for you. A reminder to go check out Riverbank Brewing in Council Grove. Also go check out and support Wildcat NIL over at catsnil.com. For Taylor and for Nick Springer behind the scenes producing the show, I'm Cole Manbeck signing off on another 3 Mall Wildcat Weekly Player Spotlight.